to you guys about my kind of my modern, well, I won't really say modern because it's not modern, but my survival trapping kit that I pack with me. Everybody's heard 2 is 1 and 1 is none, right? Talking about redundancy, and I expect, especially in kind of a field environment, even when I'm doing modern trapping, I expect a 10% yield. I expect that for every 10 traps I put out, I'll get 1 meal, maybe, or 1 fur, or whatever. But from the survival aspect, I expect 10 traps to bring me 1 thing to eat. And I think if you've watched a lot of shows, you'll see that they put out, 1 to 2, maybe 3 traps, and they're not eating every time. They're probably eating 10% of the time. So if I put out 1 trap, I expect to eat once every 10 days. It's just that, it's kind of a rule of thumb that I've noticed. It's just an observation. It's nothing, not a hard and fast rule, and it's definitely not a law of nature by any means. You could put out 10 and get 10, To help me remember that, I kind of added to that 2 is 1 and 1 is none. 10 or more is dinner for sure. All right, so when you're talking about putting out traps, I always put out at least 10. What I like about traps is they're passive food procurement. As far as survival priorities, and the survival rule of 3s, you guys are all familiar with, 3 weeks without food. I've gone a long time without food, and skip 2 days of eating and tell me how miserable you are. That's all you're gonna think about. Your blood sugar's low, and you start making mistakes, it starts making things worse. It's a compounding effect. So while you can go 3 weeks, nobody wants to. I don't like it at all. I've done it enough to know that I want to eat as soon as possible. The reason I carry kind of a robust trapping kit is because it's worth it to me, because I want to eat. And with that 10% yield that I expect, I want to eat every day. I don't want to eat 4 days from now. So I can get my fire, kind of get my thermoregulation going. I can use that to boil water while I'm building the shelter. I can also set out traps that I'm carrying rather quickly. I can set up a trap line, kind of around my perimeter real quick, within just a few minutes, as long as my core temperature is good and I've got some water going. If the weather allows, I'll go ahead and set my traps out so they can start working while I'm building my shelter. And that's why I carry so many, but there's a lot of little ones that you can carry that work really well. And for trapping, I kind of break it down into categories. So you've got, your passive land-based traps and your passive water-based. So depending on what is around my area and my environment. I carry kind of 5 to 6 traps ready-made that are quick to set up and easy to set up that I can do on the fly while I'm gathering material for my shelter or whatever. I'll carry probably 5 land-based and 5 water-based, So no matter what, I can at least get 5 out, within 15-20 minutes really quick. And that can start working while I'm doing something else, because I'm driven by hunger. Are you guys familiar with these mechanical yo-yos, these fishers? Anybody never seen these before? All right, you guys can pass those around. So these things are really cool if you've never played with one, but basically it's an automatic reel. It's got a coil spring in there. So as you pull it out, your trap trigger is up here, and you can get them in flat or rounded triggers. You can tie it to an overhanging branch, or you can make a branch. How we used to, when we were kids, we had that fork stick and we'd shove our pole in the ground and go catfishing at night. At least I did. That's kind of how you can do that. But you just want to get it out there. And then it comes with a swivel on the end. So I'm loading tension on that spring, and it's got those cutouts. So whatever distance I need, we'll just do there. And I set the trap trigger like that.
We had a huge success with those when he was over at my house.
Yep.
We walked down to the lake, we put one out, we walked back up to the house. I'm looking off the porch and I see something shimmering in the water, and I said, "You see that?" He says, "Yeah." I said, "Maybe that's a fish." We walked back down, and the time we walked like 100 yards, there was already a fish on that quick. Yep.
Now you can also use these on land for smaller game as kind of a spring snare. But I primarily use these in the water. That doesn't take long to set, and I can get that out quickly.
So it kind of sets the hook for you?
Yep, sets the hook, and it'll actually reel them in depending on the weight. But you can see how it works. You tie them off, it comes with an extra loop, so I'll girth hitch it through that hole, and then I'll use that string to tie it off. So it'll be hanging from a tree like that, tree limb or whatever you've got. that's how you do it. But it's a real sensitive trigger.
Any reason you got nylon cord on instead?
That's what it comes with. Yeah, that's what it comes with, and you can put a leader. That's how quick that thing is. But yeah, if you want to check out that trigger, there's plenty of those. So I'll carry about 5 of those. Then of course you need some fishing tackle, and I can also use this like a hobo reel. But this has just got, you know, your normal stuff that would be in like a survival fishing kit. I just like this particular canister. You know what's interesting about these is I always thought they were the coolest containers, but do you know what these are? Yeah, it's a 2-liter bottle before it's been expanded. Blew my mind. Yeah, but I got quite a few little things in here that make it more successful. A little bobbin with some extra braided monofilament, not monofilament, but braided line. Bobber. I can improvise a lot of this stuff, but you know, space savings, it's not that bad. And I like to eat. So that's kind of what we're going for water. And let's see what else I've got in here. Look at that dude. I've gone through about 6 of those small ones, and they never last very long at all. So I got this one from SRO. He assured me that it was going to be substantial enough that I would want to carry it, and that's amazing. But it's a B&M Spears. I put these little latex tubing on so it doesn't poke through my bag, that's all. But yeah, what I like about this is I can improvise a spear. Yes, it just takes time, and I need to be doing other things. And actively hunting and actively fishing is kind of when I've done everything else, you know, because that's a calories game there. But I think this is worth carrying because I can use this on land. I can use it in the water primarily, but it's basically kind of a frog fish spear that I like. So you guys can pass that around. It's really cool. That one I got from SRO. But yeah, this is the best one that I've found so far. The other ones, you know, they break. It's a frog gig, fish spear, frog spear. But all I've got to do is add the pole, and I'm pretty much good to go. And it's not that they're hard to improvise, it's just something that takes time, you know. So anything I can speed up, if I'm already carrying a backpack, you know, I'll throw it in there. Then I've upgraded to these recently. After seeing them, I was assured these things were pretty awesome too, and pretty heavy duty. These are the steel rat traps that are on SRO. So I added those to my kit because after playing with them, I was like, yeah, those are much more substantial than the regular rat traps you get at the dollar store or whatever. But I think everybody probably knows how to set these. Let's see if I can. These things are angry too. Look at the teeth on them. Yeah. This is an angry rat trap. Yeah, but when it comes down like it means it. Now it's going to go when I put my fingers in it.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. But yeah, check those out if you want to feel kind of how heavy duty they are. I think they're like, I left the tag on so because I would forget. They're like $4 on SRO. These things are, come on, $4. That's pretty good. I think it has nail holes in it that you could tack it up if you throw a couple of little nails in your kit. You could tack it up or tie it up on a tree. You could run like a squirrel pole up and put a couple of them on there and let them run the gauntlet, you know, and they get up to their nuts. This is actually a spool of military tripwire, but it's pretty heavy duty stuff, painted steel, and it comes with a couple of nails, but it's just a tripwire. So that's extra wire for me. It's quite a bit actually too. This is another thing that I like to do that maybe you've not heard of. So you might get something out of this. This is a complete bank / trot line kit. So I've already got my bank line in here, probably about 30 feet of bank line. I've got 5 leaders, 5 hooks, some split shot, and 1 large weight if I'm using it as a bank line. Does everybody know what I'm talking about as far as a bank line? Like, a bank line is I'm throwing it out into a lake or whatever, but I'm throwing it from the stream, and my only anchor is on the bank. The rest of it is in the water, like the lake. And you have leaders at different depths going all the way down. A trot line goes from one anchor point to another across the stream. And then there's another one called a stakeout, where it's basically a trot line, but your anchor points are in the middle of the water. You know, so it's the same thing. So like 2 stakes driven down, and then you have however many hooks, but they're not up on the bank. It's all completely submerged.
The bank line, what keeps the end of the line from just drifting back towards the bank?
With the bank line, that's why it has the heavier sinker on it, to keep it down. There's a lot of different techniques you could use. This is something I don't have to mess with. I can just go, depending on what my situation is, and it's pretty compact, I can throw up a bank line or I can set up a trot line really quick, and it's all right here, self-contained. So I like this. Oh yeah, last, these are my favorites. These are the Thompson Survival Snares. You can get them in 2 packs. You got kind of a large snare and you got kind of a small snare. This guy is a great dude too that makes these. So this is kind of the kit. You've got your small snare, large snare, depending on what you're going for. You can catch small animals on large ones. You can catch large animals on these. They're not going to chew through these, and they're quick to set up, and they've got locking swivels on them, so they're cool. So you get that in one of the kits, and then it comes with, this is actually 3, and these will be all tangled. But you actually have some wire also, so you can secure it to whatever your anchor is. So that's like a Thompson's Survival Snare kit. I love those. I love these. And I really like that frog gig and those rat traps. The only other thing I put in there is, that I learned from Kirsten out in the desert, is some little packs of, this is almond butter, but maple almond butter. I don't even think these will make it to the traps, but having said that, I could eat this and get some calories out of it if I needed to, but it's most valuable as a bait. Baiting my traps, put it on the end of the stick, on your bait stick. Pretty much, there's most things in nature that you want to eat. This is irresistible to them as well. So it's a really good bait, really compact. Just slide it in your trapping kit.
How many snares do you carry?
I carry about 6. So usually 5 to 6 snares, because they come in sets of 2. I've got 3 large, 3 small, and then I usually carry 5 or 6 of these. Really, I just go until my bag's full, but I want at least 10 things that I can put out quickly and go do other things and let that work for me.
We're going for bait on your trot line.
On the trot line, I have to, depends on what the stream is, but I've got some salmon eggs in there. And there are some flies in here as well, if I want to do it that way. But normally I'll just use night crawlers if I can find them. That's my favorite bait, is just to get night crawlers. That's my trapping kit. The main thing is have something that you can get out on the land and something you can get out in the water. These are dual purpose. Anything that you can speed your process up and get it out so you can get on to other priorities and hopefully eat, do it. It's up to you how much you can carry or want to carry. Take some bait that you can also eat if you had to. And as far as my go-to active, frogs and fish. That's what I want to go for if I can. And that dude ain't gonna break.